Hello everyone, my name is Harmony Eden. Today I want to share some very personal thoughts and feelings I have about Japan and the Japanese people. Before I begin, I want to say something clearly. What I'm sharing here is not meant to be taken as absolute truth. It's a personal impression. It may be a reflection or even an overvalued idea that may or may not be correct. So please listen with your own judgment and discretion and take this simply as something thoughtful, personal, and perhaps meaningful or interesting to reflect on. First, I want to say I truly love Japanese people, just as I love Korean people and people from many other places. I feel a deep affection for Japan and for the people who live there. When many people around the world think of Japan today, they often describe Japanese people as hardworking, disciplined, intelligent, academic, and organized. And yes, those qualities are certainly there, but I feel that the deeper nature of Japanese people is not only diligence or intelligence. I believe Japanese people are also deeply warm-hearted, gentle, caring, and full of quiet affection. Even when they seem reserved on the outside, I often sense kindness, sincerity, and a very tender humanity underneath. In my eyes, Japanese people are not cold people at all. They are in many ways deeply warm people. And somehow I feel that many Japanese people today may not fully understand their own warmth and kindness as strength. It is as if something inside the nation has been wounded for a long time, and that unresolved pain may still be affecting the hearts of people in the present. What I am about to say is very personal, and again, I do not present it as fact. But in my inner reflections as a neurodivergent who hears the same messages over and over inside my head, I have often felt a deep sadness and tenderness when I think about Japan. Sometimes I feel as if there's grief there that has never been fully faced, and because it remains unresolved, it continues to weigh on the present in quiet but powerful ways. When I think about Japan's modern history, I sometimes feel that repeated contact with the West brought not only admiration and inspiration, but also a kind of wounded self-esteem. As Japan adopted Western technology, institutions, and military methods, there may also have developed an unconscious feeling that Japan had to catch up, prove itself, or even surpass the West. When low self-worth combines with social and educational pressures, it can distort a society's direction. And I wonder whether some of the painful choices of the past were connected to that kind of pressure. What feels especially painful to me is that the Japanese people of today do not seem, in their true nature, to match the cruelty of certain parts of that history. That mismatch itself may create an inner conflict. A people who are naturally kind, thoughtful, and peace-seeking may still be carrying the burden of historical memories that feel deeply out of harmony with who they really are. And perhaps because of that, Japan's movement through time has felt slowed or blocked over the past few decades. Japan has so much beauty, creativity, culture, discipline, tenderness, and joy to offer the world. Yet, at times it can feel as though some of the flow has been delayed, as if something has been holding the country back from moving forward as freely and joyfully as it could. I especially think about this when it comes to two unresolved historical issues. The first message I hear is the issue of the comfort women. I do not see this as only a political issue between Japan and Korea. I think it is also a women's rights issue, a human rights issue, and an issue of human dignity. Internationally, this has been discussed not only as a dispute between two countries, but as a grave issue involving violence against women and the dignity of vulnerable people. One reason many people do not feel this issue is fully resolved is that even where apologies were made, many felt that the process was not sufficiently centered on the victims themselves. What many survivors seemed to want most was not simply money, but acknowledgement, sincere and human recognition that what happened to them was deeply wrong. And because so many of the surviving women are now very elderly and many have already passed away, it becomes harder and harder to see this only as a matter of compensation. It is also about dignity, memory, and being seen. I believe that if Japan wants to stand even more strongly as a truly mature and advanced nation, it must be able to speak about this history openly, compassionately, and humanely. Not defensively, and not only diplomatically, but as if speaking about one's own family or friends with warmth, responsibility, and care. I also believe it would be powerful if educated women in Japan and people who care deeply about women's rights would speak about this issue not only as a foreign policy problem, but as a matter of justice for women and of moral maturity for society itself. To stand beside the surviving victims before all of them are gone, and to speak from their perspective with compassion would be a deeply meaningful act. Because when there is a wound in women's rights and human rights, it does not simply disappear if it is not truly addressed. It returns again and again through documentaries, films, articles, public debates, and international memory. And when that happens, it can make a country feel more isolated from the world instead of more deeply connected to it. The second issue that comes to my mind over and over is about the Unit 731 and the Maruta or Murata experiments. This is also an extremely painful and horrific part of history, and precisely because it is so horrific, I believe it must be faced with honesty and maturity. To speak about it openly is not to say that present-day Japanese people are cruel. Actually, it's the opposite, I think. I do not believe the Japanese people of today are bad people. In fact, I believe the opposite. And being able to openly discuss it makes Japan look more mature. Japanese people, like Korean people, Chinese people, and people in many other countries, are human beings with conscience, tenderness, and a desire for justice. Many Japanese people I know grow up with stories, manga or anime, and cultural messages that teach fairness, peace, kindness, and protecting the weak. That to me feels much closer to the true heart of the Japanese people. And that is why these parts of history feel so deeply painful and conflicting. They do not seem to fit with the kind of people many Japanese are today. And yet, because these events were real and left evidence behind, they may continue to trouble the deeper conscience of the nation and affect how Japan relates to the rest of the world. In my own personal way of seeing things, I do not feel that Japan should be hated. I do not feel that Japan should be shamed forever. I feel something much more tender than that. Sometimes, in my personal spiritual imagination, Japan feels like a beloved child who has been placed in a moment of pause, a kind of timeout, not for rejection, but for reflection. Not because the child is unloved, but because the child is much loved and is being given a chance to return to what is right. And in that same personal image, I do not feel that this pause is meant to end in punishment. I feel that after such a pause, a lot of love is waiting, just as a loving parent wants to embrace their child again after correction. I feel that there is a longing for Japan to move toward what is right, so that love can be expressed more fully again. I feel that if Japan makes courageous and mature choices in facing these difficult parts of history, then many beautiful things may begin to flow again more freely. Lots of joy, cultural vitality, creativity, connection, and new blessings from the world. It is as though many good things are already waiting in line, ready to enter again in abundance. I also think about the younger generation in Japan. Young people today live in a world that is more sensitive to process, well-being, mental health, identity, self-expression, and global issues. They often have the potential to care deeply about justice, the environment, human rights, and the protection of vulnerable people. And I believe Japanese youth too have that potential. In my imagination, the young people of Japan are highly educated, thoughtful, globally aware, concerned about justice, and capable of standing up for those who are weaker. But at times, currently, they seem tired, discouraged, or less empowered than they could be, and I hope older and wise generations in Japan will encourage them, believe in them, and make room for them to participate more fully and courageously in shaping a healthier future. I do not say any of this to accuse Japan. I say because I care. I do love Japanese people. I love Korean people. I love people of every nation. And I hope we can all learn to see one another not only through politics, national identity, or old pain, but also as human beings who can be wounded, who can make mistakes, who can grow, and who can heal. My hope is that Japan will not be afraid to face difficult history with maturity, warmth, and courage. Together with other nations, like mature adults having an honest and compassionate conversation, not to destroy itself, but to become freer, stronger, and more deeply loved and connected. Anyway, again, what I have shared here may not be absolute truth, and please use your own judgment and discretion. Listen with an open mind if you wish, but also with care. I only hope that what I have shared may offer some meaningful gentle and worth reflecting on. Once again, thank you for listening. Have a nice day.